What's up YouTube? So before I start with the actual review and comparison, I would like to thank all my viewers and subscribers for being a constant source of support and inspiration. So many of my viewers reached out to me recently and we had discussion about the comic book industry in general, and that means a lot, guys. As of now, we are at 180 subscribers. So yeah, do your bit, spread the word, share my video so that we can reach 200, 250, 300 subscribers and we can grow as a true comic lovers community in no time. So yeah, with that being said, guys, now I'll jump into the actual review of the New 52 Suicide Squad Volume 1, Kicked in the Teeth. So yeah, Kicked in the Teeth is written by Adam Glass and the artwork is done by Clayton Henry and Federico Dell'Oscio. What are you looking at? It's not my fault that his surname is so difficult to pronounce. Anyway, so let's see what they have to say in the back. Who is the Suicide Squad? So that's a very intelligent question. Suicide Squad are basically supervillains recruited from prisons and sent on covert suicide missions to shave off jail time. Nanite bombs in their necks to keep them on a short leash. Everyone is disposable and nobody is accountable, and brutality and death is just another day at the office. They are irredeemable, uncontrollable and expendable, and that's what makes them really dangerous. So Suicide Squad is basically just a super team and they do the dirty work that traditional superheroes would not dare do. So the Suicide Squad's first mission will pit just 6: Deadshot, Harley Quinn, El Diablo, Voltac, Black Spider and King Shark against a weaponized horde of 60,000. And as their controller, the unflappable Amanda Waller navigates her band of assassins from mission to mission. A worldwide threat emerges that only they can stop if these rogues don't kill each other first. So yeah, they have gone on a mission against 60,000 of cyber humanoid creatures who are closed in a stadium, and yeah, that's basically what goes on in half of the book. While in the latter half we see another aspects of the story, and that is what could possibly go wrong when Harley Quinn finds out that her boyfriend the Joker has been skinned alive. So yeah, Joker's face has been ripped off, and as you can see over here, so yeah, Joker's face has been just ripped up and everyone thinks that Joker is dead, and so does Harley Quinn. So Harley has lost her mind and she has gone AWOL, AWOL, absent without leave, short form of this. So anyway, Harley is on the run, and now Amanda Waller wants the rest of the Suicide Squad members to go find her, because if she leaks the word on the street that there is a team called Suicide Squad, also known as Task Force X, and then the integrity of Amanda Waller and the government and the Suicide Squad as a whole is at danger. So yeah, she must be caught at any cost, and the rest of the squad members are now running behind her, hunting her down. So that's basically what this book is all about. So there is nothing ground shattering as of the story. In the artwork, let me show you, is not that great either. It's just plain average both in terms of storytelling and artwork. Although the last page of this book, that packs quite a punch, or should I say a kick. Got that? I was just sarcastically referring to the title of the volume. Anyway, so this is not a must buy. If you just want to have a good or average Suicide Squad story, then this book is for you. So I will just keep it here and talk about the Suicide Squad Volume 1 of the Rebirth storyline, of the Rebirth series. So yeah, this one over here. So this is very different from this one, but they both have two stories going on. I mean, both the books have two halves. The first half of the story in the Rebirth Volume 1, that is the Black Bolt, as you can see in the name. So yeah, the first arc of the story is called Black Bolt, and that story is kind of lame, but Jim Lee's artwork makes up for that lousy storytelling, and it turns out to be a decent read. But the latter half of the book is the most interesting part, guys, because there are a bunch of short standalone stories and one shots about the squad members, like those small stories that tell about the origin or some important events in the lives of those squad members. Like Katana stories, there is story about Boomerang or Captain Boomerang, there is story about Harley Quinn and the other of the squad members. So yeah, that half of the book is really interesting. There are different creators, different storytellers and artists working in the latter half of the book. So that's what makes that book, this book, very attractive and better compared to this one. So yeah, if I have to score them, The Suicide Squad, yeah, kicked in the teeth. I will score this less. I will give this 2 or 2.5 out of 5 because of the very average storytelling and very average artwork, except the last page. Everyone can give a strong twist in the last page, but what goes on within, that should matter. That should be very interesting, and that should be very gripping, and that's not what this book was all about. So 2 to 2.5 at max out of 5. But on the other hand, Rebirth, I will give it a 3 or 3.5, because although the first half of the book had lousy storytelling, but the latter half of the book, consisting of a bunch of the one shots, as I've already said, that was really really good and I loved it. So yeah, if you have to pick one among these two, I would definitely suggest you go pick the Rebirth Volume 1 Black Vault. With that being said, guys, I will wrap up the video here. Hope you liked it. See you in the next review.